And there it is. We have it on paper. It's going to be Magnus Carlsen with the white pieces against Hikaru Nakamura in round 11. Magsudlu plays Lazovic.
And that's big as well. Magsudlu with the white pieces, but Lazovic has played so well today. That's going to be one to watch. All to play for.
Drama going all the way into the final round. This is Magnus Carlsen with the white pieces. He's up against his biggest rival, Hikaru Nakamura. Who will win it? Who will win game week 8? What are we seeing on this board?
Yeah, it's early days. It's the Italian game. Magnus trying to keep as many pieces on the board as possible. These two have fought in so many of these E4, E5 openings. So many Spanishes over the years. So many Italians over the years. And Magsudlu watching this game, I was going to say. He's busy himself. But Magnus, he's just trying to keep the tension and try to build in the center now. This is going to be fascinating. It's all about the tension. The Swiss Gambit, ladies and gentlemen, is real. Losing round 1 does give you an easier path, but you always end up against the best at the end.
Is it analogous to when you're a French super GM and you go down a pawn and you're just destined to struggle, but then you win in the end?
The French is like suffering.
Exactly. This is like the tournament equivalent of the same thing. And I love the facial expressions from these guys as well. I know that it's El Clasico, but there is a part of me that wants to call this matchup, oh, not you again.
Exactly. Deja vu.
Magnus Carlsen is fighting to win Title Tuesday in the Autumn Split for the 4th time. He won in game week 7. Hikaru Nakamura is fighting to win it for the 2nd time in the Autumn Split, but for the 107th time, Hikaru has won Title Tuesday 106 times.
Oh, just incredible numbers. The consistency with these two is another level. Like, we've seen some dominant chess players in chess, like kind of throughout history, but these two, just how they keep doing it, it's very, very impressive. It's like other sports, just day in, day out, they're training, playing, and they always seem to end up against each other at the end. Magnus, in the meantime, with a very nice position, a bit more space, also with a better bishop. Black's bishop, a bit of a problem piece, but it's a King's Indian pawn structure now, which Hikaru Nakamura is known to love. Long way ahead.
Magsudlu better on the bar against Lazovic in that huge game on 9 points.
Which makes this even more of a must-win. I mean, it must win for everyone anyway, but that is very, very exciting. That said, this is Blitz. There is no increment, and the bar doesn't lie, but the bar changes very, very quickly. So it is early days on both boards. Magnus Hikaru on board 1, Magsudlu Lazovic on board 2. And, well, we're playing for 3 results, but what I mean by 3 results here is that 3 different players could end up on the top step.
Yep.
Yeah. And, I just can't predict who it's going to be. All I know is that if it comes down to flagging, these two will not hesitate to go at each other, to try and be ruthless. The prize on the line. Magnus's queen nearly got trapped, so he brought it back. Magnus is now playing for this pawn break. He wants to play on the queen side, and Hikaru is playing for the opposite pawn break on the other flank. This is a fascinating position. It's a bit of a standoff, but whoever gets that break in first is going to be the favorite in this game.
Wherever you guys are watching this, whatever channel you're following, please share in the chat. Who are you rooting for? Who do you hope wins game week 8? Magnus, Hikaru, Magsudlu. Send your love.
Positional question, David. I'm guessing C5 is not an appropriate response for black because you take en passant and then D6 is just too weak in the longer term?
Yeah, it did cross my mind. One of the c-pawn pushes, c6, c5. I don't think it's the end of the world because you get some targets of your own.
Okay.
I think that's why Hikaru hesitated. He wasn't ready yet to break out on this flank, especially with the white knights so perfectly poised.
Yep.
But he was deciding, do I react? Traditional wisdom says you don't play on the side that you're weaker. But and there, Hikaru is definitely weaker. White has more space. But it was a bit tempting. And now he's going all in on a pawn storm. Watch out. This knight is about to get hit. The other one's been kicked backwards. It's all the pawn chains. Connect 4, my favorite pawn structure, versus white's about to be connect structure. But for now, he holds up the black pawn chain. This is so delicately poised. Computers prefer white because white has a bit more central space. But watch out, it's so easy to play black's position long term.
And they're equal on the clock.
Mm-hmm. The knights have really obvious squares to jump into as well. G6 and F6 to begin with. The pawn storm can continue. Okay, King H8, Rook G8. We're starting to slow down a little bit. But the next 2-3 moves, if you said, black's attacking, what do you play? You can't quite pre-move, but you know in some sequence what your next 3 or 4 moves are likely to be.
Exactly. And for white, Magnus, it's not so clear. He cannot punch through with his break. That square is too well covered for now. Hikaru doesn't go kingside yet. I think he's trying to distract Magnus here a bit. He might even offer a queen trade at the right moment. He might even offer it now. But
against Magnus?
yeah, I was going to say, that one is not completely safe, especially against Magnus.
This is round 11, the final round in game week 8. Magnus and Hikaru, they are fighting to win it, but there is one more player in the mix. His name is Paramaxoglu, and he is now massively better in his final game against Lazovic.
Wow, what a twist. He's going to put pressure on both of these two players. Actually, if Magnus wins, it's going to be very hard for Magnus. He'll need a miracle on the tie breaks. A light has gone out in Hikaru's room, meanwhile. He had to step out to step up for a second just to turn that back on. But have the lights gone out on his attack? That's the big question. Can he still push through his pawns to try and go for Magnus's king?
I knew he sold his soul to get to 3,300, and I feel like that light going out is definitive proof.
Yeah, wow, what a crazy scenario we have here in the tournament and on the board. Hikaru is just totally locked down this square, by the way, with his bishop, with his pawns. He's just trying to prevent Magnus from breaking through. And Magnus's knight, meanwhile, has done the same on the other side of the board. This is the pawn break for black. White has clamped down on that one with his pawns and his knight. So it's a bit of a standoff. Hikaru, I wonder whether he's aware that he might need to win to surpass Magnus here, because he's playing rock-solid chess. That might not be enough. Rook trade, and he's going to go with his pawns. We're going to see, finally, full chaos, full tension here. Key moment, this would trap the white knight, so Magnus has to trade off, and Hikaru wants to take this pawn, but can he take this pawn is the question, because the white queen will sidestep, and there's a skewer on the diagonal. Some weird angles here. The white queen will step across, and this black knight is the big target. Again, those loose pieces. Hikaru goes for the other pawn instead. Or anything could happen here, despite the limited material, especially with queens on the board.
Makes sense. Didn't want to have to deal with all the complications with the queen in the skewer, so choosing to go the other way instead. Very, very sensible decision making. A little bit up on the clock as well. Minute 40 plays a minute 30. Both players so fast that that's not going to be decisive at this point of the game. And a quick retreat with the knight as well. I want to know where black's queen is going to position itself for this attack. That, for me, is the question mark.
Yeah, very interesting maneuver there. Sometimes in life and in chess, you have to go back in order to go forward, and Hikaru is trying to bring his other knight in to attack this one. Now there's a queen, there's an avenue for the queen. There we go, John. The first question has been answered. This probably isn't the destination, the final one for the queen, but it's a start.
Knight f7.
Yeah.
And it is a win for Magnus. It is a win
That is huge.
Magnus, and he goes up to 9.5 points.
Wow.
That means it is must win for Magnus Carlsen to have any hopes. If Hikaru wins, he will win game week 8.
Yes, so fate is in Hikaru's hands right now. If he is able to win on command with the black pieces here, although I have to say the EVAP bar did not like that, and what was a potentially much better position is now almost devastatingly equal.
Yeah, I have a feeling this is going to be decided on the clock. It's so balanced. Hikaru blocks up that flank. Now, this pawn chain I was talking about earlier looks beautiful for white, but slightly vulnerable. Those light squared pawns hard to defend. The black squared pawns block in black's bishop. That is a bad bishop, but at least they are easily holdable. And it's just hard for either side to improve the position. Magnus might have to gamble at some point and take this pawn, but it will come at the cost of his own center as Hikaru tries to break in round the back. Stopped. 50 seconds against 50 seconds.
Wow.
All bets are off now.
All right, bishop f8 to h6 to g5 to h4. And actually, I don't even know what it's accomplishing there. But really, this is unbelievably tense. The knight goes, the pawn has disappeared off of e4, and that pawn is sufficiently strong that there is a lot of comp and a lot of play here. Very interesting play.
Fascinating position. Magnus grimacing there. He might be forced at some point to trade the queens off at the cost of a pawn if the attack is too strong. But for now, he gets some checks of his own. Magnus might need to bail out. Black's pawn is so powerful. He can give some checks Magnus Carlsen if he wants and force a draw, but it's not enough for him. It's not enough for either of them. But playing on will just end in disaster. Black is threatening to make a new queen. You cannot fight that for much longer. Is it going to be a draw? Are we going to see this game end and neither side be happy? It is a draw.
Wow, it's a draw.
Unless Param somehow... Well, Param has a better tiebreak, so maybe we both miss out by that. But yeah, I mean,
It's an
I was
from Magnus Carlsen. He is not going to win game week 8, and it doesn't look like Hikaru will as well. On the standings right now, it does